Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ScrapMan, bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and today is the day that we start building the medieval castle as part of our medieval fantasy world that we have been building for the past couple weeks or so. At least a month. Maybe 2 months. Anyway, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure to check out the whole series playlist so you can see the progress of building this entire community project using submissions from the Scrapyard Discord. Now, if you haven't guessed already, what you see behind me is a sample pack of the chosen walls that we are going to be using for this series. Hopefully, we're going to be able to build an actual castle all the way around the perimeter of this area. I hope it's not going to be too much on the game here, because these walls are pretty huge, which is why I chose them, especially considering how much they're going to stand out from a distance. I mean, actually, even like the further away we go, they still start to look kind of small. But there was a big variety of different wall packs and castle walls creations that were submitted. But out of all of them, this one was by far the biggest and most detailed. So I think this is going to look the best aesthetically. Hopefully, it's not going to ruin our game as far as FPS and things like that. But we've got the gate here. We can actually pull the lever that raises the gate, and the gate is actually a decent size. I mean, it doesn't span the whole road here, but I think that's okay. We've got these massive, massive towers. Before we go in there, let me actually look at the other pieces first. So there's doors going into each of these towers. This piece right here is a standard wall. Oh, looks like there's a lever up there. It's a standard wall with a gate in it, though, so you can kind of open and get through the gates just on like an individual level. We got a wall corner here, so you can see that spans that corner, and we got another corner over there, all with doors to access inside. And then here is a standard sliver of a wall piece that we can kind of duplicate to expand our wall. Now, the only thing this pack is missing is a standalone tower that we can insert into a long line of walls. Because if you look, actually, never mind. I don't think we're going to need it, because looking at the scale of this compared to the entire thing, I think we're only really going to need towers on the corners. I don't think we're going to need mid towers, because we'll have 2 towers right by the gate. And then if we just expand the wall down to that corner, then we'll just have a tower on that corner. I think that could work. I was thinking about cutting out one of the towers and then just making it its own thing. But what I am going to have to do is cut out these individual pieces and save them as their own objects so I can spawn them individually as needed. But before we do that, let's check out the inside, shall we? So let's go up to the gate tower here. So I love the paint, by the way. Even though I said just standard gray, like light gray, this color here. I forgot to actually say who made this. This is by Metal Scorpio. So Metal Scorpio has actually gone through and added just some cool coloring detail with just little hints, little sprinkles of alternative grays and stuff, and even like the windows, and it makes the detail and the realism stand out so much more than if it was just solid gray all the way through. So we got a spiral staircase going up. We've got torches lining the walls. All right, this actually not even completely a spiral staircase. It's got some interesting intricacies here. And then you can see we can go out to the corners. And I love, like, look at the way that this corner, it has the wall open up like that. That's a cool detail. All right, so let's go back into the main tower here. We walk on up, we turn this way, and now we're on to the top of the wall instead of just the tunnel of the wall, I suppose. Oh, this is interesting. It looks like, was the paint forgotten there, or is that intentional? Looks like all the other areas, except the wall sections themselves, have an alternate paint. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I don't know if I should repaint this. Anyway, it wouldn't be a big deal to repaint anyway. All right, and then we can keep going up to the very, very top of the tower. I do like how the entrances and windows and exits are all lined up, or all outlined with just the default brick color. Look at the split staircase here too. This is a really well designed, like architecturally speaking, it's very pleasing. It's very aesthetic. It works very, very well. And we can see our enemies, our orcs, from very, very far. We can actually almost see over the ridge into the orc camp over there. But so it's a good thing we're going to be building this wall. We can prevent the orcs from taking over the dwarves. And you know what? We're just going to make them pay for the wall too. We're just going to build the wall and we're going to make the orcs pay for it. That's how this is going to go. How are we going to make the orcs pay for it? We're just let's build the wall first. We'll worry about paying for it later. We'll shut down the whole map if we have to. All right, so now let's separate everything into its own individual pieces and hope we don't break our game doing so. Speaking of which, I'm gonna back up the world. All right, so now I'm going to delete all of the pegs here and save this as its own corner piece. All right, then we got our standard wall section right here. This is something we're definitely going to be duplicating and making it bigger. But we'll just keep the basic wall first. All right, then we got our other corner section. That's kind of like a right-hand turn. So we'll save that as its own piece. And then we got 2 more sections left. We have the gate wall here, and then the main entrance, which I'm just going to keep on its own. All right, so now we have the interesting task of lining everything up. So I'm going to spawn in the basic wall section here because this is pretty much what we have. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I have to figure out how to line that door up. Okay, by the looks of it, there's a single block of width for the edges of the door. So that means I have to line up my weld point right here. Okay, all right, I think I can keep track of that. But I have to make sure because the ground dips down here. So I want to make sure that everything is going to be on a level playing field. Ooh, this might actually be kind of tough because the ground dips down there. So we might have to be a little bit inside. So let me just make sure that the ground is at a consistent level, and it looks like it pretty much is. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a line out, and this is going to indicate where we have to have our gate. Okay, now see, the ground is starting to dip down. So that means our gate is going to be slightly elevated, which might look a little bit awkward. And I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that, but there might not be too much we can do at the moment. What we could do is we could delete this entire ground part and then just extend the gate down to the ground, however far down the ground goes. That could work because we don't want this lip here anyway, because if we're going to drive anything into the castle, that would just get in the way. So yeah, we could just make that slight modification and that should fix all of our problems. But now we just have to find the center point of this road, or at least what feels like a center point. This is actually kind of tough. And then weld the gate right in the middle. So I'm thinking right here. All right, so I think this is the center point that needs to be welded right to the top of here. And it looks like that's going to be perfect. I hope I did this the right way. Okay, yes. This is the inside of the gate. Good, good. The inside of the gate is facing away from the entrance to the actual castle. So that is always a good thing when the switch is not on the outside where the enemies can pull it. All right, so now I need to, because the ground dips in here, I'm going to have to fill in the rest of this, which is fine because luckily it's a relatively simple texture and color. I just got to fill all this in, paint it gray, and I think we should be good to start actually building the rest of the wall. Now, I do have somewhat limited time today, so I don't know how far we're going to get during this episode. But at the very least, we'll have the entrance and at least some of the front of the wall here, depending on any stupid mistakes that I happen to make. All right, so I've extended the wall down into the ground so it no longer has those gaps underneath. So now what I think I need to do is remove this section here, because this is just blocking any way for the dwarves to bring anything into the castle. So now let's bring the gate down, see how far the gate goes down compared to the ground. And we could probably just use pipe pieces to extend. Actually, like, that doesn't look too bad, but we should just use the pipe pieces to extend the rest of the way to the ground just to make it look better. So how many do we need? I think like 2. Yeah, 2 looks good. All right, then we just put the rest on while the gate is up, making my job much easier. All right, let's double check, see how this looks now. Here, oh, we missed one. That should be fine, though. We'll just go ahead and do a little bit of that. And it does look, I probably should have made the T sections, I guess, or the cross sections. Yeah, we're going to have to redo that. It just looks weird without the extra cross section. All right, I think that looks much better. We have our gates. Fortunately, we can actually reach the switch from the inside. So we've started. We've started building the castle. The front gate has been established. So now we need to weld our first wall on. But I'm actually going to weld the wall to itself a bunch of times first. Is this identical on both sides? Because we need to create a larger wall section that's just going to make this go faster. All right, so I think I got a large section of wall here that we can reliably weld. So now I just really have to make sure I don't make a mistake and weld this at the wrong point. All right, let's go ahead and just put it next to where we're welding. There we go. And make sure this is the inside of the wall. Yep, we have the button to open the gate on the inside. So now we're just going to make sure that we line this up properly. If we do not line this up properly, we're going to be very, very, very... You know what? I'm going to back up the world now. So if we make a mistake, we can just reload the current state. All right, so I need to weld this line here in line with this right here. Let's go ahead and paint the weld point. All right, that should be it. I really hope. Oh no. This is bringing back memories of the future military base. All right, this is going to be interesting. All right, I think, yeah, I have to weld it right there, and then I got to fill in the bottom. All right. Oh, that was not bad at all. That was nowhere near what the military base was, but then again, we've only just begun. Look at that thing. We might have to, what I might need to do is actually have little sections, and I might do that right over here. Little sections where that's not connected. So just literally a single line of disconnection. So that way it's not going to be one solid object that is going all the way around. So I am going to try to be mindful of that. All right, so I realized I can't mirror this without rebuilding some of it. So I'm going to try to recreate this with some of the sections of wall here. And I got to weld the entrance to the other side. So that way I can have a mirrored version of it over on the other side there. All right, let's hope it fits over here. There's this weird kind of dip right here. That's... We could probably just fill it in, but hopefully it's not going to be too awkward. All right, so now I got to also make sure that I do this on the right portion on this side as well. Lining it up right... Actually, I didn't even check if the other side was lined up. Let's go over and check. We got to go up the tower. And, oh man, if this is misaligned by like a single block, I'm going to be a very, very sad ScrapMan. Oh, yes, yes. Look, we did it. We did it. Oh, this is awesome. This castle is epic. It is already epic, and we are completely... The wall is not built enough at all yet. All right, so now I'm going to try to weld the mirrored version. Hopefully I've lined this up correct. This should line up with right there. All right, weld. This is definitely taking longer than the last one. So I think it is definitely going to be time to put a gap in between the walls. There we go. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. That doesn't look good there, but we can just fill that in. So now let's just double check that this side is lined up too by going into the tower here and checking the catwalk alignment. All right, here we are, and this looks good as well. All right, this is looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in underneath here, attaching it to the ground. Oh, that lags me out when I do that. There we go. But now it should be fine. As long as I attach to the castle and not the ground itself, then it doesn't give me that lag spike. So yeah, see, this will fill in this awkward gap here, and then hopefully that'll just make it look like nothing's really wrong there. Now, the good news is that if we've learned anything from the future military base is that even if this wall gets too big to keep building on, we know that we can still build in the rest of the world up to a certain extent. Oh, no. Oh, I thought this door was the wrong way. All right, the door is the right way. Okay, good. Up to a certain extent until all the bearings start to just completely detach themselves from all the creations and everything gets destroyed. So that'll be an interesting time in this series. I wonder how soon it's going to be till that happens. All right, so let's finish filling in over on the other side here. All right, so the dip happens here, and it's barely even noticeable now. But let's just check the front side, because that was the more extreme side. And yeah, you can see, let's actually paint a little bit of the darker. How dark? Is that the right color? Yeah, that's the right color. We'll just give them some bricks that are accented with the new color. All right, looking good so far. So now, let's see what we can do here. We're going to try to weld one more, but I'm going to have it be separated by a single block. That means I have to weld it right there. All right, I really hope I get this right. There we go. So that, like, given the scale of this wall as a whole, it doesn't look terrible. And that was super easy to weld. It didn't really lag much at all. So I think that is going to be a good method for stability going forward. And it looks like now we're reaching the corner where we're going to have to start using smaller wall sections to kind of edge our way out here until we get to that corner piece. This is actually going pretty well. This is going quicker than I expected. But let's keep things symmetrical. Let's go do this on the other side and see if we have a similar distance to the corner, because when I was molding or editing this tile here to have this castle area, I tried to make it symmetrical on either side of the gate entrance, but I don't know if I've actually done that very effectively or not. All right, so here comes the next installment on the left side of the gate. There we go. So we have this much distance until we get to another door. And the reason I'm having these intermittent doors is just because if we're in our castle doing our thing and we want to get out, I just want to be able to have an easy way to get out of the castle instead of having to like fly out or walk all the way to the front gate or things like that. One thing we could maybe use is some stairways that can attach to this side of the castle walls. So Metal Scorpio, if you're watching, you have your wall pack here. Maybe make an attachable staircase that we can just weld to the inside of the walls here. So that way our troops and anybody that we need to can get to the top of the wall without having to only go to the towers at the corners or these towers by the gate. But so far, like if I take a step back, take a look at this castle and you can barely even notice, at least from this perspective, you can barely even notice the single block gap in between those walls. This is looking epic. This is looking really epic. All right, now let's check the distance. I didn't even look at the distance yet. How close are we to this corner? Ooh, we are like right here. All right, so this side is clearly closer. So we need to start measuring out how many walls are we gonna need before we need that corner piece. All right, so here is the corner. So if we put this corner in the corner, right about there, I think that's good. All right, let's check. So that like kind of almost lines up there, goes around. Yeah, I think that's pretty good there. So now we just gotta like fill in from this wall to the corner. All right, and that shouldn't be hard. This is a small section of wall here, so this should weld pretty quickly. There we go, and maybe we can fit one more in there. All right, just like that. Look at that, and now we are ready to weld the big corner piece on. We just gotta make sure that we line this one up too. Oh, this should be easy to line up because it's actually wall to wall here. This one's a little bit laggy, but it's not too bad. There we go. All right, and we got our door right here, so let's just make sure that everything is all aligned. We'll go on up in the tower. All right, so going on out to the catwalk here, you can see perfect alignment. So it goes right over into this corner piece, and then the wall is going to continue on this way. Ooh, we have another gate to put. Should we just put another, like the main gate right there, or should we have some type of alternative gate? I don't know. Let's spawn in the gate. Okay, wow. I think that fits, though. That fits pretty well, actually. All right, we're going to have another gate over here. But before we get over here, before we focus on doing this, let's finish the front area of the castle first and get to the next corner over on the other side. Look at this wall. This is absolutely massive. The orcs are not going to be happy about this. All right, so I've got a placeholder wall right here, and we're going to spawn in the corner and measure out where this corner is going to have to sit. So it looks like that's a good alignment right there. All right, so we could just fill in up to there and weld it in and we should be good. All right, looks like we can fit maybe one more wall section in here. There we go. And then we got to weld this right to here. I hope I'm doing this right. All right, it is welded. It looks good. This looks like it's lined up pretty well. I think we've got the other corner. I think we've just literally finished the front of our entire castle. We're gonna have to take a distance, get a distance here and take a good look at it. All right, check this out. Check this out. Let's walk the whole distance. See how long it takes to sprint all the way down. Well, to the gate at first, I guess. All right. All right, we just got to the, I don't even know if you guys noticed, but we just passed that, the 1 block gap. All right, how do we even continue? Where are we? Are we at the gate right now? Is this where the gate is? How do we continue over? Wait, is there no way to get over the... Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. We have to go up on top of the wall, go over the top of the gate. There we go. And now we're on top of the wall here. Oh, I should have thought about this. This isn't painted, but we could just keep it like this. I mean, painting it wouldn't be too difficult either, to be honest. All right, so that was the entire front of the castle. Check that out. So I think I am actually going to paint all this just because I think the gray fits better than these splotches. Oh, that's the wrong gray. I think the gray fits better than these splotches of the natural brick color. All right, there we go. I managed to paint it all. Looks great from over here. So let's go ahead and walk out off into the distance and see what this thing looks like looming over the horizon. All right, here we go. Look at the expansiveness of that already. Oh, that is great. That wall looks really awesome. I think I know someone who would really like this wall. I really like these corner pieces, the way that the balcony opens up on that bottom level there. That's a really cool touch. All right, so now all we're gonna have to do is do the sides and the back. So I think we're gonna have to save that for the future. So this is the first installment of building the wall. Let me know if you guys have any advice or tips, anything you'd like to see inside the castle especially. Keep those submissions coming in. We may continue with the wall in the next episode, or we may do like an intermediate episode just to sparse things out and keep some variety. We might look at some like siege equipment or things like that. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next episode. Do you want more wall building, or do you want to see other types of creations, some more variety and stuff, and then wall building a little bit later? Looking forward to that feedback. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the future episodes. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.